Welcome to the Forgiving Spirit, a title in the Land and Sea series. Once a place of worship, the Forgiving Spirit Chapel is now dedicated to spiritual pursuits of a less than religious nature. This is its story. Let us begin. The story revolves around four main characters, headed by a fellow known as Clary to family and friends, and, despite never having entered the clergy, as the Reverend to everyone else. There's his orphan niece, Rosalind. There's Ashley, a character from the Reverend's past, who unexpectedly re-enters his life. And importantly, the Forgiving Spirit Chapel, after whom the book is named. The Reverend is sawmill foreman at Mill Point, Queensland. His job and his home both vanish when the mill is devastated in the 1893 floods, along with the town. An unexpected opportunity arises. The Reverend inadvertently acquires an abandoned church. Workmates devise a plan to convert it into a clandestine replacement for the town pub. After a brief wrestle with his conscience, the Reverend succumbs to temptation. With the kind indulgence of higher powers, he builds this new enterprise into a thriving business renowned throughout the district. Rosalind, Rosie as she is known to family and friends, has been orphaned whilst too young to fend for herself. She is supported by a loving community and raised by her caring, if slightly disreputable, Uncle Clary, i.e. the Reverend. As she blossoms into womanhood, Rosie increasingly acts as a conscience for her uncle. Her strong-willed nature helps to rein in his worst excesses. Or so she thinks. Eventually there's a falling out, leading to her sudden departure and to rapidly changing fortunes as she attempts to survive in a man's profession, in a man's world. Ashley is a young man looking for a role in life, or indeed anything that will keep him afloat, having outlived his stay on the Pacific island of Butaritari where he grew up. He wins a job in colonial service in Brisbane, a role that comes with challenges, some of his own making. Inclined towards impulsive actions, he's not exactly accident-prone, but somehow incidents seem to find him, occasionally ending in catastrophe. The Forgiving Spirit Chapel. Outwardly it's a deconsecrated church, restored after the floods and repurposed as a chapel, retaining some of its original fixtures including the organ and pulpit, but behind the scenes, ingeniously disguised, is the secret to its success. To find it, you need to know where to look, but of course it's not easy keeping a secret in a small town. Thus, the Forgiving Spirit Chapel emerges from uncertain beginnings to become the social hub of the community, a place of joy and celebration, a rallying point for the town's recovery. Its success galvanizes the once dispirited populace. The chapel itself forms the hub of a touring vaudeville show, drawing crowds wherever it goes. How is this possible? You'll have to read the book to find out. Eventually things come unstuck at the hands of dangerous rivals. A niggling threat escalates to willful interference and ultimately to violent aggression as interests collide. A deadly climax ensues at a moment of joyous celebration. The Forgiving Spirit is now available on Amazon. The ebook version has Amazon's Look Inside option, so you can read the early chapters for free. The book trailer is on YouTube. You'll find links to all of these at stuartmackenzieauthor.com.